Welcome back to Bone, Smoke and Sizzle. Today I gonna be making a Bauern Käsekrainer, which is a farmer's cheese kranski. So I be doing like an old type of sausage but with cheese, and for this one I need of course the meat. I have pork meat, back fat, beef, and I have Emmentaler. Emmentaler I use a fair amount, and this Emmentaler here is 12 months old, so it has a nice strong flavor. The other thing what I'm using is because I'm pre-mixing my own spices, so I don't have to mix it individually, so I make a pre-mix which forms the base. And how to make that mix, just have a look at that link here. This is my website, and there just have a look at the pre-mixes from the spices, and you will find this mix under the Bauernbratwurst pre-mix. And it shows you how easy it is to make a premix. So you next time what you use, then when you make sausages, you take the premix and you use 10 grams per kilogram of meat from that premix. The other thing what I'm using is I'm using Buckler salt. Buckler salt is the European version of a curing salt, so it's different to the US version. To explain the difference between Buckler salt and how to make your own Q1 or Q2, have a look at my website. You will see there a section for salt, and also there I explain the difference between the Buckler salt and the European version, and also the US versions of your curing salt what you have over there. This one has 150 parts per million of nitrate in there, and it's already pre-mixed, so you don't have to mix it, and it's also the safer option to use. I'll be using 20 grams per kilo from that salt here. Then of course to make those sausages I will slice the cheese in 5-7 mil cubes. I will use the slicer for it. Then the whole meat I make a coarse cut, so because it's a traditional farmer sausage. The fat, the back fat, I be grinding through the 4.5 mil blade or 5 mil blade, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. And the rest, the beef and the neck, what I'm using here, I grind through the 10 mil blade, so it's a coarse cut sausage. Then I mix in the herbs and also add the water. Water I'm adding 50 mil per 100, so I'm using a 250 mil of ice water. I put this then in the mixer, mix this till everything becomes very sticky, so it starts binding, start filling the sausages. And then I put the sausages into the smoker. In the smoker I let it ripen, because like with the curing agents you need to get that red color inside the sausage, so it will be drying for at least an hour in there. And afterwards I will smoke it in 2 stages. The first stage will be at 50 degrees for about an hour, and then I increase the heat to 75 degrees and cook it finished in there and smoke it finished in there. The difference between this sausage here and a more new type of Käsekrainer cheese kranski is, first up, I don't use a bread because I don't have a bowl chop at the moment here, and the secondly is because we try to generate an old type, so we don't use bread. The farmers didn't make the bread before itself, so that's the emulsion what you need. So it all got mixed usually by hand, and it's coarse cut, and the product got finished in the smoker because they didn't cook it separately, so everything got done in the smoker. But let me show you, let's get started. I will start chopping the cheese first, then I start mincing the meat, prepare the spices, and let's fill the sausages. Let me show you. Alright, let's get going here. Let's open up the cheese here. Let's get the rind off. So. Just cut that outside off because it's extremely hard and it's also still has the rind on it. That's it. Now what I will do is I will set it here to about 6 mil, and then I'll try to slice that down into 6 mil cubes, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. So let me show you here. I've cut now as little stripe. The rest I cut by hand. Simple as that. I will cut those few now and get them ready for the mixer. So I'm just cubing the cheese now. Just make about 5, 6, 7 mil cubes. Don't want them too big and don't want them too small. As you can see, they're about that size here. Takes a bit of time. Has more work, this sausage, but it's well worth it. I only have the short knife here, the boning knife, so if you've got a bit of bigger knife, it's easier. See, if you don't have a slicer, you can just cut them like that. Just take a few and trim them down. As I say, by hand is a little bit of work, but it's well worth it. From this Käsekransky or Käsekrainer, there's various versions around, and like I say, this version here is more like a old traditional version. It has not much to do with the new modern version, which you can buy now in the shops if they make them, because like this one doesn't have a emulsion in it, so it's made without the emulsion, and it doesn't have any additives in it, so there's no phosphates, preservatives or any other filler in it. Filler, I'm talking about like potato starch, soya or any other chemicals where to stretch the product. The bite will also be different on this one here, because like I will not cook it in a sense where after the smoking I put it into hot water of 80 degrees and finish it off in there, because I will finish off that sausage directly in the smoker. So this one I need to cut separately. Those are the end pieces, they're a bit harder. And this cheese will give you a good flavor. Also the Emmental. Don't use that cheap, nasty Emmental, which you also get to buy, which is maybe a month old. Try to get Emmental, which is about 12 months old, also which has matured for about 12 months. And it has much more flavor in there. And also has a firmer bite, because the other cheeses, the other Emmental, if it's too fresh, it's runny, it doesn't have that bite. Also don't use any other cheese. You know, if the cheese runs, it's no good. The cheese needs to stay in the sausage firm as a cube. So that's the cheese done. That's good. Use all the cheese here and all the pieces, so that's fine. I'll be finished now with this cheese. So here we go. You can see that's nicely cubed. That's the amount of cheese going there. I'm making about 5-6 kilo sausage today. So that's the cheese which will go in there. There's 1.2 kilo cheese here. It's 20% cheese which goes into the sausage. So on 10 kilos there will be 2 kilos. And here it's a 1.2 kilos and I have about 6 kilo meat, so it's just right. If it's 50 grams or 100 grams more cheese, it really doesn't matter. So I will put the cheese aside for later. And the next thing what I do is now is I need to prepare my meat. So what I have here is I have some beef. I've chilled it down. And I also have some back fat. So there's lean beef here. Let's have a look at how much is in there. Give me a second, move the camera a little bit. That's good. So let's see how much meat we have here. Back fat, I have a half kilo. And the beef, I have a kilo beef here. So I got 1.5 kilo here, and the rest is in there. I got about another 5 kilo in there. So that's the meat what I've left in there. For the exact measures and everything, if it's a 50 gram more or 100 gram more here and there, it really doesn't matter. The most thing is you get lean beef, you get back fat, and I got some neck in here. So I will trim this now and also get it ready for the I'm using neck here, and I will measure that one here. So, because I know now I have the pork, that will fine, that's the back fat. I just cut it in a size so it fits down the mincer. The back fat I'm gonna put through the 4.5 mil blade, and everything else I put through the 10 mil blade. So it's a coarse cut. So. Make sure there's nothing on it because it's neck, there's nothing on it. It helps if you've got a sharp knife. Just don't cut your fingers. It's clean. Instead of neck, what you can use is shoulder, and you can also use pork leg, which is leaner. Then you need more fat, of course, because you should have about 20% fat in there. The thing is here, let's weigh that then. Let me finish off this one bit here, and then we see, because I need to know the exact weight for the salt, and of course for the spices. Oh, the meat is done. this rubbish off. So let's have a look there. Good. Okay, we have meat. So we have the pork neck. So I got 5.6 kilo here. So 5.6, and I know I got a kilo and a half here. So 5.6. That's a 900 gram. 5.6, 6.5. So 7 kilo. I got 7 kilo here. The base amount of meat you will be finding on the website. The link is up here. Have a look up there and look for Bauern, traditional Bauern Käsekrainer. And you find the right amount of the meat with the back fat and the beef you use. It's a bit flexible because it's a farmer sausages. It's very simple to make. Also, it takes a bit more work, but it's very simple to make. Right, the next thing what I will do is I'll be setting up now the mincer, and I will mince the fat first through the 4.5 mil blade or 5 mil blade, it doesn't matter, whatever you have, and the rest of the meat I do through the 10 mil blade. So let me set this up, let's get started. Okay, the mincer is set up, 4.5 mil blade. So I'll be mincing the fat first, because I want a bit smaller, and then I switch over here and put the 10 mil blade on it. Done. I want to get this fat out, so I put a bit of pork afterwards. So that's done. So the fat is nice and small, the way we want it. So the knife goes back on it. And now I need the 10 mil blade. Good. Put the rest of the meat up here. Let's mince that through. Then mix up the beef. There's a nice cut. Okay, so that's done. Just wait till you get the last bit out of it. Good. So now what we'll do is I switch over. I take this off now and put on the mixer. Put this aside. It's ready for washing. I don't need this anymore. I'll put the meat aside quickly and set up the mixer. Before I start any further, what I need to do is I need to mix up the salt and I need the spices and some water, of course. So we have 7 kilo meat, and for 7 kilo meat, 20 grams per kilo, I'll be using 140 gram of baker salt. Too much. That will do. And I also use 10 grams of my mix, which is for the Bauernbratwurst, any types of Bauern sausages. The base mix is really good because I don't need to worry about the individual spices. Each time I make different types of sausages. If it's a Bauern sausage, it's a Bauern, like a farmer's sausage, I use this premix. And then depending on the flavor I need or want the type of sausages, I add other herbs to it. So here 10 grams, 7 kilo, 70 grams. Now this type of sausage doesn't need any other spices in there. Because like there's already in there, like there's pepper in there, there's garlic, there's coriander, there's caraway seeds in there as a ground. So everything what I need is there. But for the spice mix, like I said before, have a look at the website. It shows you exactly how to create this mix. So it's 70 grams. So that's the spices done. So I will add now the meat into the mixer, add the spices to it, add water to it, 50 ml per kilo. So in that case I'm adding 350 ml of water, of ice water. Okay, there's the mixer. I'm gonna put some gloves on again. Be up in a second, and also get the meat quickly. What we do is actually we add the meat to the mixer, and then also add the spices to it. The meat out here. Good. So that's the meat in there. Just getting my spices ready. I don't add the cheese yet, so I let it mix now a little bit, and now I'm preparing the water. Also, as I said, 50 milliliter, 7 kilo, that gives me 350 ml of water. Good. I'll let this mix now a little bit. Make sure all the spices are down. As you can see, there's no cheese in yet. So it's just literally the meat. Because what I want to do is I want to pre-mix everything. Get the spices all mixed in properly. Get a bit of the water absorbed before I add in the cheese. Now we add the cheese. Let's let it mix. Casings, I'll be filling it into 30-32 mil casings. They're a bit narrow, but I need the big enough. Let's see how it works anyway. Mixing well. A mixer, because like it's hooked up to the mincer, it makes life easier mixing it. Otherwise you have to mix it by hand. But the good thing is doing it this way is I don't bring in extra temperatures with my hands. It looks all good. So that's ready. You can see. Very sticky. That's what you want. It's good. So that will hold nicely. All right, so I will take out the meat now and transfer it over to the filler. For this I will take out the paddle. The good thing on this one here is I can take out the paddles itself, or the mixing paddles, and it's easier to get to it. Right, let's get it in the tray. You can smell the cheese and the herbs in there. So let me get this over to the filler and then set the camera up new. Okay, fill up there. Filler here. Make sure you push it down, because the last thing you want to have no air in there, or at least air as possible. Okay, good, that's all done. So, for filling now, I will take off my gloves because I can't fill with gloves. So what I do is now is I just put a bit of moisture on the seal. That's good. Let's bring it down. I just want to get it into the filler itself. Good. So in the meantime I put on the nozzle. I'm using the big nozzles. It might be a bit tight for those casings, I see. Plus I need some more casings, well I know this, because I have more meat than I started off. So I need to get some more casings in there. And that probably won't be enough. I see anyway. Let's start off with it and see how far we get. And the sausages, once they're twisted, I put it back in there. Still, so it's pushing it out there. Okay, I'm getting there now. I slow it down now because I want to get it out slowly. That's it. Good. So, put on those casings. There's somewhere a knot in there. Yeah, open. Now what I want to do is get a bit of water in there so I can pull it up easier. Grease the nozzle a bit in the front. Very good. So you can see how easy the skin goes on it. If everything is right, they had a good soak. There's a bit of water in the casing. So, good. Make a knot in it. Bring the casing forward, make it a bit wet, because you want it wet. So I'll speed it up a little bit now. And let's fill. And a bit of air in there, but we can get this out, that's no problem. Don't fill them too loose and don't fill them too hard, so they have a certain amount of pressure in there. Because if it's too hard and when you twist them they break, and if it's too loose then you have to well, twist them more. So this one I will make it a little bit shorter. So about that length here. So what's that? 13, 14 centimeters. It's about 130, 140 grams. But those ones are a bit filling, so I keep them a bit shorter. Because the cheese is in there, so when you do twisting you have to move the cheese a bit out of the way, otherwise you can't twist. What can happen is when you do that you break the skin there, but just do it gently. You got time, there's no rush, and it will be fine. The other thing is once I have twisted that, as you can see, I just use the whole casing at the moment, and the smokehouse isn't that wide, so I would never get the whole lot on one stick. So I will have to break a sausage once I start putting on the sticks and fit them onto it. Whatever's out there, I usually make burgers, so that's for lunch, and it's quite tasty as well, so it's not wasted. And in the filler you will have a bit of left as well. So with that filler here, with the cut-offs, I guess I will have about a half kilo left or so. But make burgers, they will be good. Make sure they're nice firm Dutch after you twist them. And it helps if you, when you twist, you see I'm measuring this way, so they're equal, then I squeeze them, and then I just twist it, but with those fingers here, I push slightly back, and same I'm doing here, and that way the sausage becomes nice and firm. You see here got air in there, so what I will do is that tiny little hole, that will do. Good. Right. So now I get about 6 on a stick. So if I measure sticks, I'll show you. Stick is only that long, so I would never get them on it. So if I use here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does 7 go? I'd rather have a bit more gap. Yeah, detach a little bit there. I think I'll leave it at 7 or 6. There's a bit more, and there's some 4 sticks. Let's do 6. We got plenty of room. Okay. So you see, so that's fine. What I do is now is I cut one in the middle. Take this out. Make a knot in it. Make a knot here in it. It's fine. So those ones are ready. And what I will do is I hang them aside. I have a tray here, so that's ready for them. Good. Now let's get the next stick. Now we got metal sticks here. So 6. That will do. Cut this in half. This aside. Knots. That broke. So that's a bit shorter. Good. Another stick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So 1, 2. Another one, so we got 3 sticks so far. Fill up the next one. I might not have enough casings. There's a knot in there. So, you see, the knot is open or not. Here we go. So, open. Get water in there again. Knot. Let's see how tender this one is. It already broke. Sometimes the skin can be very dodgy, to say the least, if it's too thin. When they clean the skin, if it can happen that it comes with a lot of holes in it. So if you do find it, just chuck it away, because it's not worth it, the hassle. So I need one more skin. That's very tender, this skin here. It was a bit loose. Good. This one here is we don't have a full sausage in there anymore, so I just twist it around it, so that will do. Get a stick, hang them up. So we need to go this way. Right, so that will do. Right, the next one. I need to prepare some skins now, because I need a little bit more. You see, you got a ring here normally, and the best thing is just to take out one. Here we go, there's one there. And then leave the ring in there and just put a gentle knot back into that. So it keeps the skins together a little bit. That will do, maybe. So that might do. I'm going to replace that water here. I'm using cold water for the skins. I don't use warm water because end of the day I don't want any heat in there, or I want to avoid as much as possible the heat because I want to keep the temperatures down. As you can see, this skin hasn't soaked now, but it's already soft. But let's see, she might be a bit tight. Let's try it. Get plenty of water in there. That should be okay. Let me see. If not, we have to wait a little bit. That's all right. So good. Let's fill this. Okay, that's it. So what do we have here? We have here a bit of meat. It's not much. And we have a little bit in here. Okay. So what do we have here? About 36 pairs, so about 70 sausages. And it depends how big you make them. Here we go, and so leftovers again. We just twist them around it. That's the taster. Good, a stick. Always helps to if to make the stick wet. Two, 4, 6, fine. Yeah, about 36 sausages here. All right. So guys, the sausages are filled. What I will do is next is hang them in the smoker. And I let them mature now. They need to mature now for at least an hour. And I do that at 25 to 30 degrees in the smoker using the drying option. That means I don't turn on the smoking, so now I just put a fan in there and the fan will circulate it, it pumps it out, it dries the skin. Let me show you. Okay, these sausages, they're hanging inside now, and I spaced them out so there's 5 sticks. I've added in the dryer. So here they are hanging now, so it's nice and space. I tried to get out all the air. And you see, I got no heating in there, so literally just the dryer, I blow in air. I heat it up to 30 degrees and let them dry now for 1 hour till they are dry outside, plus they have time to mature, also to ripen. So I'll switch this on now, the fan. See, the fan is going now. And I switch on the heat as well. It's already 27 anyway, but the heat is set for 30, so I will heat up a little bit just to get it warm. And I open up the top here, so the top is open. And here we go. So let's let it in there, make sure they don't touch anywhere. Good. So, it goes. That will run now for an hour till they are dry. I will check in an hour. So they are drying and maturing now for 1 hour at 30 degrees and the air circulating inside the smoker. So I'll be checking back in an hour. Okay folks, the sausages are dry now. Let's check them. They've been drying for the last 2 hours. So they're nice and dry. There's no water anymore. I've tried them at 30 degrees. So they're good. I put already the needle in there. This is just to check the temperatures in the front, the second needle here. So what I will do is now is I remove I switch off the fan. So that's off. I remove the fan now. Don't need them anymore. Now I put in the smoking unit. See if this works with one hand. Let's see. It just gets hung in here. Now this time I be smoking with beech. So I'll be only using beech wood. I'm filling up the hopper now. I'll be smoking for 90 minutes at 75 degrees. I'm not so sure if I can see that. So switch on the smoker, the heat and also the smoker. It's all plugged in, it's all going. I open up a little bit underneath. And the top half I put to is fully open. I put to 3/4 at the moment, so it's a little close to it. And I will be setting now the timers. So not too sure if you can see that. So at the moment the sausages have 32, I set to a core of 72, and here I gonna set the timer, and the timer I set for 90 minutes, because all what I want to do is 90 minutes hot smoke. So that's it. Timer is set. And it will take now a few minutes to heat up, and then I set a temperature gauge between, because the smoke is at 75, so I set it between 70 and 80, the alarms, and then let's check again in about 90 minutes. And then we see what the sausages will look like. They're gonna be as I cook them in the smokehouse, I don't use hot water. Like normally the new type you do is you smoke them and then you cook them in hot water at 80 degrees. I will cook them in the smokehouse and I hot smoke them at 75. Let's check back in 90 minutes. Okay, the Käsekrainer, the cheese kranski, they are cooked. They have reached 72 degrees. So let's have a look what they look like. And they have been in there now smoking for 2 hours at 75 degrees. And it was varying between 75 and 77, 78. But let's have a look what it looks like. There's the color. It's a nice color. And I think that will do. The alarm goes off. So I will leave them like that. That's fine. I don't want them too much. Just a nice golden color. They could be doing a little bit more, but I don't want them too smoky. So they're just fine. So I will take them out now and put them in cold water. So the sausages are done. They're being cut and they have cooled down. They don't look too bad. They've been cooked at 272 degrees. So they are cooked. They have been cooked in the smoker. Let me show you what they look like when they are cooled down. So let's have a look here. This is what the sausages look like. A nice even color. Some of them are a little spot because maybe it's touched and that it still was, the skin wasn't dry enough in some areas maybe, so you got some lighter spots on it, but this is okay. It's homemade. You don't have to worry about those things, and they're still tasting good. What I will do is now is I will cut one. And let's have a look what it looks like. And let's see, bear me a second. So I need to get the camera right here. So let's see if this works. Good. Here I've prepared a sausage here. So I'll just take any of those sausages now. You see, they're looking nice. So what we'll do is I cut one. You can see it has a nice coarse cut, and also like with the cheese, so the cheese is throughout the sausage. So if I take the sausage now and cut it in the middle, let's open it up. As you can see, the cheese is right throughout the sausage. It stayed in there, so it didn't dissolve. That's what you want as a coarse cut, and it's looking good. Really nice even color. Here you can compare as well the cuts of the sausage, what it looks like. So you can see everything together. That's what you want, and it gives you a beautiful flavor as well. Now, as like I said before, I pre-mix my herbs and spices. So to get the recipe, also the spice mixture what I used, here's the link again. Click on the link and search or select through smoked sausages, select Käsekrainer, and you will find them. You find various options there. So till then, I hope you enjoyed that. So stay safe, make sausages, have fun. See you then, till next time. Bye bye.